Newcastle by 2-0, and Shay Given, the former Newcastle goalkeeper, talked about concentration early on from Newcastle. Only one place to start then, with the goalkeeper.
Yeah. I mean, even Glenn mentioned the goalkeeper before the game because it's such a tough game when you come up against Man City. You have to defend well, goalkeeper has to play well, and this is a mistake. He's just passed it out of play. I mean, you'd be disappointed if you've seen that in a Sunday league in the morning. You know, it's just a poor pass. I mean, you could pass it maybe to Murphy on the right, or just pass it to his feet, or clear his lines. He's done neither, and obviously the goal comes from that. You know, Steve, it leads on to the goal, but then the goal is, I don't know, a mix of errors from different people. I don't know if it's the goalkeeper or if it's Clark or whatever, but this is such a basic...
Let me ask you this question. If you were in the Newcastle goal here, whose responsibility is this?
Well, if I'm in goals now, I'm either doing one or two things. I'm either shouting keepers or away. And we're trying to work out, you know, offset there. Does he shout anything? And as best as we can with the guys backstage, we think he shouted away. I don't know what Clark's doing here. He's just got a free header to go and head it.
So it's the central defender who's got to deal with it.
I think if he's in doubt at all, he should go and head it.
Yeah.
And then the keeper after, because they have a bit of an argument after, Steve, and it's a bit like Dubravka leaves a bit on Clark, and Clark walks away with his head down as if to say, I should have headed it, you know. And we spoke about Clark before the game. The Norwich game a few weeks ago, 9 minutes in, he gets sent off. You know, 4 or 5 minutes in today, he makes a very, very big mistake.
I think the point for me is if the goalkeeper's shouted, I'm coming, keepers, but his body weight goes backwards, suggests to me that he didn't shout, I'm coming. So if you're a centre-back and Clark knows, Clark actually ducks out of it. So if you're ducking, you know you can head it, but you're thinking the goalkeeper should be coming. Well, no, wait for the shout. But if, as a centre-back, you head it. Just head it, and if your keeper comes and clatters you, it's not in the back of your net. And that's the philosophy I've always said. If you can head it. Even though he's give you a shout of keeper coming. But I think he shouted probably, if he did shout, away, because his body weight went backwards.
Glenn's motto is just ignore the goalkeeper. 2-0, João Cancelo. What a strike.
Well, what a player. I mean, we spoke about Bernardo Silva as being one of City's or the Premier League's best players this season. Well, here's another. I mean, yes, we can pick holes in Newcastle's defending there from Willock, here from Hayden, but sometimes you've got to marvel as well at the attacking play. Two defenders, again, both turn their back at the same time. So lots of mistakes from Newcastle's point of view, but this lad, as a full-back, I mean, he's got two great feet, he hits a brilliant ball. I mean, he actually got the assist for the first goal as well, believe it or not. And he's got that goal, so he's such a talented player. Can play either side as well,
left or right.
Can I just say,
from a defensive point of view, you're at the bottom of the league for a reason, OK? You've got two of your centre-halves, supposed to be your two pillars at the back, and also Joe Linton. You've got three players who literally, it's last line of defence stuff, throw your body away. I want to see three bodies lying on the ground. The ball was in the back of the net and the three of them are still on their feet. As a goalkeeper, throw yourself at the ball. Try and get a block on it. It's very, very poor defending.
Now, you're getting yourself worked up, and I'm going to wake you up even more now, because we'll go over to the other goalkeeper, Ederson, on Ryan Fraser. Discuss.
Well, hopefully Dermot's going to speak this in a minute, but for me, it's a stonewall penalty. I mean, I'll stick up for goalkeepers all day long, but Ederson's come and he's took him out. I mean, Cancelo deals with the ball, but that's a foul. I don't care what you say. It's a clear and obvious mistake from the referee. The guys upstairs in the VAR wagon should
Craig Pawson in VAR.
Craig Pawson should be saying, Martin, at least come and have a look at the side of the pitch here, because for me, that's a foul.
That's the point for me. Go and have a look at it. You've got to send them over to have a look at that, and he might look at that again and go, actually, he's wiped him out completely. It's an obvious foul. We can see that. We were talking off air about whether it was to do with the ball being taken away and he wasn't in the vicinity of the
Shay's
ball.
come in with personal requests galore today. One of them is to speak to Dermot Gallagher. Dermot Gallagher meets Shay Given. Discuss. Away you go. You wanted to speak to him.
Well, Dermot, what's your take on that? I just want to understand what you think.
I think if it's given on field, Shay, nobody would argue. I think everybody anticipated a penalty, but when it's looked at with the VAR, I think they've fallen into the line that Cancelo's come away with the ball. They've looked at that and sided with the referee. I think, Shay, this is an on-field decision, and because the on-field decision was no penalty...
But is VAR not brought in for a clear and obvious mistake? Because for me, Martin Atkinson could have been just blocked out by one of the Newcastle players or whatever, just across his eye line, and go, hang on a minute, Martin, you might have missed something there. It takes, whatever, 30 seconds to have a look.
I think they've got a high bar, and last week there was a bit of a blip. There was a few penalties given that nobody agreed with. I think this week they've reverted back to where they were in the first 4 weeks of the season.
OK, Dan, thank you very much indeed. Very quickly, what do you think?
Well, there's no question it's a foul. It's just whether it's sort of involved in that action. I probably think it is, and I probably think it's a penalty.
OK, so much to discuss and much to do.
Go unpunished. So with that in mind, I think it was definitely a penalty.
Yeah, I think there's a foul there without a doubt. I think everyone on the planet could tell you there's a foul. It's simple. It's whether that is interfering with playing. For me, the ball's gone away. If a cross is coming in, and like Michael's saying, there's an elbow goes into somebody or you block somebody, you might have gone up and jumped for that ball, you know, and you've been that opportunity's been taken away. Cancelo's taken the ball into the corner flag. Look, Fraser's he's claiming it, but there's a foul there. Of course there is. But I'm not so sure you can actually say that he was going to interfere with the play. Cancelo's took the ball away, he's going to play it down the line, and that happened anyway. So I don't think that was a case of interfering.
Oh, it's a clear penalty. I think it's a clear and obvious mistake as well. I mentioned it Dermot at half-time. I think if Martin Atkins missed it on the pitch, which sometimes can happen, I think Wilson might have been in his eye line perhaps, and he might have just missed that split second. The VAR guy's got to be in his ear. Martin, just take a look at it. It'll take you 30 seconds. For me, there's definitely a foul. It's his interpretation then, the on-pitch referee, if it's a penalty or not. For me, it's a penalty. And even from a spectacle, from our point of view, we're saying 2-1, St James's Park would have took a big lift on the back of that, and it could have been a different game, albeit you still fancy City second half, but it might have just changed it a little bit.
And in that second half, City scored 2 more. They didn't think they scored the first one, actually, with Riyad Mahrez.
No, it was a good goal as well. Zinchenko, I think, with the ball and a lovely sweeping finish, takes it early. He's a talented boy. He knows, doesn't he? He thinks it's onside, and often when you're a centre forward, you're actually waiting to make your final move on the back of that defender. You're looking across the line, you're thinking, hurry up, because as soon as that ball leaves the foot, that's when you make your move. So a lot of the time, as a centre forward, especially in that situation when you're looking across the line, you have a real good feel for whether you're offside or not. And of course, he didn't think he was, and he was right.
I think that's VAR working at its very, very best there, because the linesmen weren't in line anyway, couldn't see it because he was blocked from the defender. So you go and see it. This is poor defending, whether you like it or not, from Newcastle. It's too easy.
Yeah,
it's just too easy.
Glenn,
both fullbacks, the left back as well. Richie just look, he's in a good position, but that's poor from Murphy. Lets him go on the outside, doesn't bring him down or get a toe for a corner, and then Sterling gets goal side all of a sudden. He's in a secured position 1 minute, fullback Richie, and the next minute he lets him go by.
11 goals in 2 games for Manchester City. Their goal difference, look at that, now bang level with Liverpool, and a 4-point lead over Jurgen Klopp's side before they play Tottenham. But significantly, Chelsea, after that draw with Wolves, 6 behind City, having played both 18 games.
Team get a post with the COVID-19 jobs. Canarias players are staff praised by a hospital worker after getting a vaccination in fight against COVID-19. When their match at West Ham United was postponed, players and staff from Norwich City took the chance to help the fight against COVID-19 by reserving vaccination posters at Norwich Community Hospital on Friday. If we can get as many people vaccinated as possible, then we can make sure there are at least some form of protection against the latest strain of the virus. Johnny Martin, Norwich head of the first team operation, told the club's official website. The Norwich players are among almost 28,000 people from the local area who have been vaccinated against COVID by the hospital. Ryan, the clinical lead for vaccination at the hospital, wants more to step forward. It doesn't matter if you are team picky in peak physical fitness army who is not practically fit. There is no rules on who gets side effect and who doesn't, but the benefit for outweighs the effects, he said. It's natural to feel nervous about getting a vaccination, but the science books up that it's safe, effective, and the best way to get out of this crisis so early, encouraging people to seek out of the advice from the NHS and get vaccinated as soon as possible.